Hi, gay.
This month at the butter shop.
Lord, here we fucking go.
Welcome to the Cup. I think. The Currently Unnamed Podcast, where the tea is piping hot. We're always ready to spill. I'm Logan Murphy, just a gay. And this week at the butter shop, we're featuring new deals to slay the competition. Yes, God, hunty, boots for your nerve.
And here with some vanilla oat milk, I am Utica. No.
I literally was about to say you look like Utica. If Utica was brown.
Right. I am Sam DMV, aka Sam Damancheverde, aka Anissa Long, your fellow friendly non-binary Filipino Canadian, mentally unstable hot mess hailing all the way from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Also supporting my local drag.
Support local drag.
And I'm Eris Envy, your punk rock hairy fairy Mary, all the way from York, drinking Monster Punch Pacific Punch because
the bitch decided she wasn't sleeping tonight.
Not on tonight.
Not on tonight.
Not today.
But she wasn't looking beautiful tonight. Look at her. She's hideous.
And I don't have a clever intro for tonight, so I'm just gonna say Roger.
Yes! In a challenge, we'll talk about it. I don't think she should have won. No, I'm kidding. I think she should have won this one. Welcome to RuPaul's Social Strategy Race, All Stars, All Winners, Eleganza, Extravaganza.
Best friend race.
AKA the search for the
Legendary Legend Star.
The legendary Legend Star, yes, absolutely.
You can't spell legendary without
leg. Anyway, it's going to be one of those episodes.
It is one of those
days. Yeah, it's going to be. Buckle in, folks, because we're going to talk about some commencement speeches for some fucking reason.
Sounds American to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, we started this episode. Somebody won the last one.
Yeah.
The Vivienne, that's who it was.
Sunit.
Oh, my icon in Legend of Life.
I'm Sunit.
Lesbian icon.
Okay, let me put my phone down.
Anyway, Viv won, and Monet X Change.
I have a homophobic slur to say.
Oh?
No, that was just my response to Viv winning. I'm not trying to get us demonetized, even though I don't think we're monetized, but whatever.
Money where?
Money tight, money fresh, money clean.
Ooh. But yes, Monet X Change is pissed. I did love how we get Shea's confessional where she's like, well, now Monet knows that I was bullshitting about this extra knowledge. Will she play along? And then she did. And I really hope that everybody plays along.
I feel like Raja might be the one to break it. Just because Rash is so serious, she's gonna be like, what fucking power are you guys on about? But you know, I hope she does. Because
I feel like, we'll talk about it. I feel like Viv also might.
The Vivienne.
But also, they're like, oh, well, there's also still one other queen who has won a star but hasn't been blocked yet.
Hey,
legendary.
If you will.
Flying under the... Honestly, Jaida is playing the mastermind. Like, I think Jada's really fucking smart and people aren't noticing it.
Her strategy, step 1, look gorgeous. Step 2, beat the competition. And you know what? She's doing it.
Yeah.
Her slay, honestly.
And then Vivienne makes a fatal error because she's like, she's telling Monet, like, you know what? I wanted to keep the tradition. People who had already had a legendary Legend Star to get blocked. But if I had had my choice, I would have blocked someone else who wasn't eligible to be blocked. Now, in RuPaul's social strategy race, Eleganza, Extravaganza, All Stars, All Winners, all the time, all galvanized and ready for action. Why would you openly say, hey, if I'm in the competition, I'm like, hey, so I blocked this other bitch, but Sam, I really wanted to block you this week. It's giving
dumb.
It's giving Ms. Cracker telling on Jaida on episode 2 of All Stars 5 that she wanted to send her home.
Yeah.
It's giving Margaret Michael saying she was going to send the strongest competition home.
You don't do that to Dela's friends. You don't do that to Dela and her friends. We'll talk about it.
Just remember, Dela's fashion taste will always be better because there's coffee on it.
I don't think I get it.
I do.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we'll tell you after. But fuck you, Sam.
Macadal.
Anyway, we come back into the workroom the next day. There's no mini challenge, but I would like to spend a lot of time talking about whatever the fuck RuPaul decided to dress himself in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was living for the Tenderoni cosplay.
You're not wrong.
And do you know what makes that better is Tenderoni has done an outfit like this after seeing Ru dress up like it.
Trying to see if I can find a photo of it because it's bad. No.
Insert Jiggly Caliente. No, what are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
I mean, not as bad as that fucking elf costume from the week before, where we learned that RuPaul actually has 6 toes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we talk about RuPaul's 6 toes for a second?
No, because I'm scared.
Me too. Anyway, we find out that the maxi challenge for the week is Drag U commencement speeches. First of all, I would like to ask why. And second of all, where?
Drag
and
U.
Who? And when? And what?
And the early 2010s.
I appreciate the nod to Drag U, but like this is the single most random challenge I think they have ever done on Drag Race.
And the backyard ball.
Remember when Ginger Minj in season 7 said that was a rough spot?
Girl, that really was a rough
Drag
spot.
U. Girl, that really was a rough spot.
But she came back up with an album and a
Album and a
t-shirt.
Album and a t-shirt. And a t-shirt. Album and a t-shirt. I'm giving Mrs. Kasha Davis.
Same.
Get ready to clock.
Get ready to clock.
Bye.
Are we ready to admit that Jaden Dior Fierce won that challenge? Are we ready to admit that? Because I am.
I am more than ready to admit that
And
Jaden
then it doing
Dior
drag.
won that challenge.
Can we talk about how Jaden Dior Fierce better be on All Stars 8?
Please. Especially after that Minion costume.
Minion cosplay.
It was
Bitch,
giving.
it was giving.
It was giving.
Okay.
Anyway, so Drag U commencement speeches. Because she got blocked last week, Monet gets to pick the running order.
The power of the
actually love
plunger.
that part.
The plunger
love
suddenly actually has power.
I'm like 4 weeks in, and the plunger finally has power. And we must also bring up that this challenge is worth 2
legendary Legend Stars.
1 to keep and 1 to give away. I will say, this is definitely just a way of evening the playing field so that all of these winners look really, really good. But I do like that there's a twist on, the format.
Yeah.
And I actually really like this. I hope they do more twists like this because I think it's fun.
I hope it keeps stacking up, actually. I would love for every challenge now to be worth 2 stars and then eventually go up to 3 and maybe 4 before the finale.
Right.
Because I want to see people get...
The only issue I have with that is having had Snatch Game so early. Because I feel like Snatch Game is a challenge that really is worth 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have
Especially since they literally
have to-
did 2 fucking Snatch Games.
Literally, I really feel like Snatch Game should have been 2 stars.
I feel like
anyway.
the Snatch Game and the ball.
I will say I'm still really enjoying this season.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot of fun.
Me too.
It's just good vibes.
Yeah. So they get to workshop their speeches with Carson Kressley, or was it Carson or Ross? I don't remember.
Ross. No, it was Carson.
It was Carson.
It was Carson, and the person I want to talk about, Nikki fucking Glazer. I love this whore. I love her. I need her. So, if you've watched our other episodes, we've talked about our rotating guest judge slot of fabulous Black women. I would like to now add Jeffrey Boyer Chapman into that rotation, as well as Nikki Glazer.
I still don't know how to feel about Jeffrey Boyer Chapman, but
Same.
I'm fine with him as an American guest judge.
Yes,
That's how I feel.
Because on Canada, he was horrible.
Well, he was also subject to racism.
And the production kind of pushed him to be the Simon Cowell.
Yeah. But other than that, fabulous gal.
Yeah. Lovely gal.
Lovely gal. I would have cried being able to workshop anything with Nikki Glazer. Like, hello. That would have been iconic.
Absolutely.
Slay.
Especially knowing Nikki's kind of humor too.
Yeah.
I will say my favorite workroom moment of the week was Raja asking Monet what another word for inhibited is, and she just goes, blocked.
So fucking good.
Rest in peace, Monet X Change. You just got slayed.
Also, I meant to talk about this last week and it didn't happen. But since we're on the topic of runway things, because not a whole lot happens in this episode, or not workroom things. So not a whole lot happens in this episode other than the challenge on the runway.
I do. A part I do remember is Shea trying so hard to focus and being distracted by everyone. You get a little bit from Jaida and Jinkx.
And Yvie dancing in the corner.
What gets me is, as a person with ADHD, I have both been Shea and the entire workroom in this situation.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love afterwards the Monet afterwards coming in being like, Jaida, aren't you black?
Where's the
rhythm?
Crying.
It reminded me of Asia O'Hara, and when her and Cameron McMichaels had that weird World of Wonder show where Asia was just hold on, where is it? We're gonna build a brimness from IKEA. We're gonna build a brimness from IKEA. Brimness. Ow.
Yep.
Love it.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Tajin shots because as someone from the southwestern United States, I am very familiar with Tajin. And I just think it's so funny that Jaida's like, yeah, girl, this gives me energy, girl. I'm like, it's powdered spices. How does this give you energy?
It must be like a psychological thing, you know?
I'm hiding in my little box here on StreamYard asking, why?
Brimness.
Anyway.
Listen, if you can't figure out the word validation, take a Tajin shot.
Sure. Absolutely. I guess we could talk about the challenge, because I thought the challenge was the most evenly matched challenge we've had yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was giving.
It was.
Honest to God, any combination of the 8 people on this season could have won this episode, and I would have been fine with it.
Apart from Trinity.
I
Didn't
actually really liked Trinity's speech. I really appreciated that. And we see it in Untucked a little bit, where she has this, there's like this Untucked exclusive moment where she's talking to Nikki Glaser about how she never, and we found out on her original season that she never like graduated with her high school class because she had to take care of her grandmother and all that kind of stuff. And that's what initially endeared some of us to Trinity. And she has that conversation with Nikki Glaser, and Nikki's like, well, just, I love that you get to treat this kind of as your graduation as well, that you never really had. And I honestly thought Trinity did a really good job with the way that she approached the challenge. The humor was good, in my opinion, and I do understand why other people don't necessarily love it. But I thought she did a perfectly lovely job.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought she did a good job at it as well. But for me, if I'm talking about like if I'm with challenge and runway in one, I don't think Trinity should have been in top 2.
I agree completely.
We'll talk about runway later, but yeah.
The top 2 was challenging for me because I liked Raja and I liked Jinkx, but I don't know. It's just a weird week. I don't think I really. It's just a weird fucking challenge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Oh, she wasn't. Oh, because I was confused for a second by your comment, Sam, because I was like, Trinity wasn't in the top, and she wasn't. So I was confused and bewildered.
Yes.
Hola, mi baby.
Not that. I liked Monet's a lot. Monet was a great opener, a very, very just solid performance in my opinion. And I really liked the emotion that Shea conveyed as well.
It's very much like what she gave us in like the comedy, in the stand-up comedy challenge in All Stars 5, and
absolutely
she perfectly delivered that as well. This episode as well. So very big props to her.
Slay.
Very that. Yvie's was good.
I enjoyed Yvie's. It's an approach. It's an approach that not a lot of people would take.
It's an approach.
But it makes sense because it was Yvie.
Yeah, it makes sense because it was Yvie.
That's honestly been this whole season. Is like everything she's done is like, oh yeah, it makes sense because it's Yvie.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I noticed that Yvie will always end up going like against the grain.
We'll get into it later, but I can't wait to talk about Yvie's outfits for this.
I'm
excited for that too, honestly.
But we'll get into it.
Well, and the only one we haven't talked about, I don't think, is Viv.
I didn't like it.
It was a choice. It's just
I think doing a character that strong is just too easy, and it's a cop out, especially when it comes to a Drag Race challenge. If you're doing like a stand-up bit at a bar, I get it. It can be funny for that. But this is the main stage of RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars, All Legends, Survivor, Social Strategy, Big Brother, Big Sister, Big Mother, the House Down Boots, Legendary Pose, Icon Star, the House Down Boots, regurgitate shit on it, vomit on it. All Stars, All Legends, All Winners, All Miss Congenialities, the third of Flumpty Dumpton.
The Heart of Europe decides who has to.
Hosted by Manila Hayati.
The Heart of Europe beats here. We choose songs for Eurovision. Oh God. How did you know that's what I was gonna call it next, Eris? God. How rude.
Don't be so rude.
Come on, Astina Mandela. Rude.
Rude.
Oh, I love
Rude.
her. Bring her back.
Please.
She was supposed to, but like bring her back. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Bless you. I don't know what that accent was.
Are we onto the runways now?
Yes.
Slay.
Category is I think you veiled it.
Failed it.
If you get that change of reference, then we can be friends.
Okay.
Yes.
Nicole Byer should have been the guest judge with this run.
I think it was a thinly veiled reference, but I'm still here for it.
Yes.
We
talked about this before we streamed, but yes, no, this was a very, very, very missed opportunity that Nicole Byer should have been on as well.
I think you veiled it.
Veiled it.
They're gonna do a nailed it challenge, and someone's gonna come out on the runway with a crucifix hanging off their back like this.
Oh.
And that person's going to be drag sephless on Drag Race versus the Red Carpet.
Yes.
Oh, so immediately, love.
I love this.
The silhouette's perfect. The color's perfect. I don't know if this is what I would go for Veil.
But for the category. Yep.
Yeah. But you know what? I think it's a callback to
Maya Angelou.
The season 10 Snatch Game when she did Maya Angelou, and I love it.
I could have sworn I thought if you said Maya Angelou.
I almost did, and then I was like, let's not disrespect one of the greatest poets of all time.
Angelou.
How you spell Maya?
How you spell Maya? Oh, rest in power, Chi-Chi.
Rest in power, Chi-Chi DeVayne.
Oh.
Okay, I really love this look though, because it's like, it's not a traditional veil; it's the birdcage, and the dress goes along with it.
And you know what? Powder blue is never a color I would associate Monet with, but she looks gorgeous.
It complements her skin very well.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best things Monet X Change has ever worn on the runway of Drag Race. This does not fit the category for me.
Yeah,
I do understand. I understand, Sam, what you're saying about the cage, and I fully respect that. I don't see it as a veil, and what makes it even worse is the fact that she had part of the train and literally just put it over her head. And I'm like, the red doesn't work with the rest of this though. And I do also understand on that same note that it may have been a reference specifically to like the fact that you put like a sheet over a bird cage so birds can sleep. Like, I do understand that. And there's like nuances here that I really, really like. And again, I really, really like this look. But for the category of I think you veiled it, it's going to be... I think you veiled it. My cup is going to be at like 35% because of that alone.
I personally am going to put it at 75%. No, 85%.
I agree. My cup is 85% full. Look at us all using a system.
I know.
Go
Check
back
out
and
our
watch
Espana review where we did not.
Yeah, go back and watch our review of Espana if you want to see us talk about piss cups and slaying Hunty.
The divas are hunting.
Hi, gay. Welcome to the butter shop.
This month at the butter shop, we're featuring Slaytacular deal. I hate it here. Shea Coulee. This is art.
This is art.
She looks good. I don't think I get the reference for what it is, but I still think it's gorgeous, and I love the mixture of colors. Colors.
I love the mixture of colons on her body.
You gotta mix those colons up, you know.
Yes, God, colon mixing.
Bum, 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 bum.
I think no, I personally really love this look. I love how it moves on the runway. I love all the pleating that is done on every single layer. I love all the colors coming together. I love this approach of a veil. Like, and what really got me was when she turns and you see the braid at the back, and I'm like, oh, that fits perfectly with this.
Yeah, so she said that the inspiration was her grandmother, which again, I don't know the specifics of her grandmother.
No, I don't know the specifics either, but like it's giving me like a gardening, like
Absolutely,
grandmother in the backyard gardening. I think Shea mentioned that too, though.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell, like, this sort of pleated fabric is not something you can buy. Like, this has to be custom done. And it's just another spectacular look from Shea Coulee, honestly.
Yeah.
My cup is going to be 85% full today for Shea Coulee.
My cup is gonna be. I'm gonna put it at 100. I'm gonna put it at like
Okay.
it's up there. It's definitely full. Like it's at the brim. It's at the rim.
I'm gonna put this at 65%. It's just not for me personally.
Valid.
The
train.
Literally the train.
She Devil by trains.
So here's the thing. This is a fascinator.
Yes.
Not a veil.
Yes. I was gonna say the same thing. This is a fascinator, not a veil. I love the train though, but it's not. There's no veil. I'm not sure how to feel about like kind of the train coming out of her wig.
I love the concept. Had it been an actual veil with the train coming out of the back of her head, I would have lived for that.
Right.
But that's not what this is.
Yeah. It's red.
Again.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about this. It's a lovely dress, but it doesn't really fit the theme. And also, I think we've kind of seen this silhouette a lot from Trinity this season already.
We have.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing a lot of this, like, knee-length cocktail dress with, like, a very dramatic cape. It looks great, but it's just...
I would like to see variety.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my cup has, like, the dregs of your coffee in it for this look.
Yeah. For the look, for this as a look, my cup is at like 30. For the category, my cup has not left the cupboard.
My cup's at 67.5%. Specific, I know.
Yeah, whatever.
Shoot.
Bitch!
This is what I came here for!
Roger looked amazing.
Roger has served one of the best looks Drag Race has ever seen. Point blank and the period. I don't care that it's a bunch of mismatched, random ruching of fabric on her body. I don't give a single fuck. This is one of the best things I've ever seen.
It's giving Vogue.
Literally, it's giving Vogue. The magazine.
Actually, it's giving Voile.
Voile.
That alone is so fucking smart.
Yes.
Raja is one of the best drag queens in the world. Point blank and the period. I don't care what anybody else says.
Absolutely. No, yeah. I love this. And ooh. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. It's like I don't have any like critique.
There's a reason why Raja won Drag Race in the prehistoric times and remains relevant to this day. The prehistoric times of 2011, by the way.
Raja showing us what he is the first ever fashion queen.
When I was graduating primary school.
Not that.
But yeah, the fucking like magazine cover attached to her back everything.
This is just so smart. Every single aspect of this is so good. I love the blue glove matching the makeup. I think it
The
matches.
shoes are
the
blue
shoe as
too,
well.
right?
Yeah, the shoes are blue. I couldn't get a good full body shot of this look. So that's the best I got.
Yeah.
But my cup has overflown, and Sam, I think it just got
Yeah, you know, I can actually see it coming in under my door right now. And it's starting to touch my pile of laundry.
Good.
You know, my cup is actually doing the same. It is overflowing to.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming down my foyer at the moment.
Exactly, and it's kind of, and you know, our streams are touching each other. Pause.
Oh, how cute!
It is really cute.
It's giving 100%.
Period, Muma.
Oh yes, Ma.
The Essence of Hall, Jaida Essence Hall.
From the House of Hall.
Oh,
From the House of Hall, Milwaukee's best drag queen to ever be on Drag Race. This is fine. I'm not in love with it, but it is a very, very well executed look.
It's a veil, and that's more than can be said for some of these looks.
It sure is a veil.
it sure is the veil. I can't say that she doesn't look good because she looks great. She looks
She looks
phenomenal.
gorgeous.
There's just something, I can't put my finger on it, but like, there's something that's putting me off about it. But also, I must say, this gives me like the goth runway in All-Star 6.
I literally think this is just a refurbished version of her goth runway. Because she wore basically the same thing, if I remember correctly.
She wasn't even in All-Star 6, Logan.
No, I'm thinking Black Wedding on season 12.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think for me what it is the fabric isn't sheer enough to be a veil, but it's too sheer that it covers the rest of her body. I don't know. This is good. But I agree with you, Sam. There's just something I'm missing. So it's gonna be at like half.
My cup's at 75.
It's giving 70.
It's perfectly solid, yeah.
Cleared.
Carried.
She did what needed to be done. This is one of the best things Yvie's ever worn, ever.
I'll agree with that, actually, yeah.
I
Very
love
true.
I love the beaded veil. Like, that's honestly my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, no, this is spectacular.
The turquoise embellishments. I was living.
Yes, her
The
turquoise embellishments.
I'm sorry, she just looks so hot. And the dress itself was gorgeous. And
I want this.
yeah,
I want this.
it's lovely.
It's full. We're full today.
It's overflowing for me.
What's next? Oh, we didn't say a percent. 100.
No, that's literally what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna amend mine. For me, it's filled to the brim, and then on those coffee commercials, you know how they have that one drop that drops into the cup?
Yeah.
That's what it is for me. Jinkx Monsoonify.
This is what Jinkx probably wanted her ball look to look like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
This looks amazing.
Yeah.
I love this.
It's a proper veil. She said on the Instagram that her inspiration was Persephone on her wedding day when she had to marry that bitch Pluto or whoever's.
Ooh.
And I have to agree, it was giving. She looks amazing. I love the silhouette. I love the color. I love the ginger on purple. Yeah, shoot.
I love the illusion. Michelle Visage mentioned it in her critique as well, but I love the butterflies lifting up the veil.
Yes.
Slay.
I loved on the runway where Ru was like, Jinkx Monsoon. She was like, who said that? That was my favorite part. I'm not in love with this look, I'm going to be honest. I'm not equating it to her other lavender look because obviously she didn't know. For me, though, I don't know if I necessarily... Like, there's... I feel very similarly about this look that I do about Jaida's. Like, there's just something missing and I can't quite put my finger on it. But there's something that is missing or I want differently, and I don't know what that is.
I think for me, the one note I have is that I wish that there was more going on around like the feet.
Because it kind of just falls off into like
the
same dress Jinkx has worn the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Jinkx in more silhouettes that aren't floor-length gowns.
Agreed. Did Sam freeze for you too?
Yeah, I just thought they were sneezing.
Oh. Are they back? I don't know. I'm going to keep it moving then with the Viagra.
I was not expecting you to call the Vanderbilt that, but here we go.
The vasectomy.
The vasectomy, the vaginosis. I felt like, the V-taper looked lovely. I think prison. I love the color of the outfit. I love the kind of like bound part of it. Yeah. Although I guess she could have hopped down the runway because that's not been done before.
I lived, breathed, and died when this came down the runway, and then the guest on the pit stop this week was Manila Luzon. Oh, they're back!
Hi, sorry.
Yeah, we're just talking about how this definitely has not been a concept that has been done before on the runway.
This is the second time in a row that Viv has gone the bondage way, so...
Yeah. Well, and I love that the guest judge on the pit stop this week was Manila, who literally did a bondage look.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my cup is like 70.
My cup is half full.
I would give this an 80, but I have to deduct 20 just because it is the vaginosis. So I'm going to give this a 60. I'm kidding, it is an 80.
Yeah, it's a good look. I really like Vivienne Blue as well.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out. But we got the critiques. We find out that the two girls in the top that are not the winners are Shea and the Virginia. And we find out that the winners of this week's challenge are Jinkx Monsoon and Raja finally has a legendary Legend star. Yay!
And Jinkx has 2.
Yep, Jinkx is the first queen to get 2 legendary Legend stars. Raja should have had 3 by now, in my personal opinion. But then we get
the worst.
One of the most awkward lip syncs I have ever seen. So Raja and Jinkx have to lip sync to Better in Color by Lizzo.
One of my personal favorite Lizzo songs.
My favorite Lizzo song, actually.
And what gets me is we've spent so long waiting for Raja to come back and lip sync. Raja having lip synced to Straight Up, having like this most memorable performance of being so devastatingly gorgeous and sexy. And what we get is your drunk auntie trying to make your nephew dance with her at a wedding. And the nephew in question was Jinkx.
Oh yeah, and not knowing the words.
Neither of them knew all the words.
Jinkx nailed the words down better though. I will say.
Jinkx did better at it.
And
Jinkx was at like 90. Raja was at about 50. I will say, I do appreciate, because a lot of people have compared this to Charlie Hides. And while I do understand that, for me, Raja served face down. Like, Raja gave face in a way that, like, Raja does.
But it's hard to give face when you don't know the words.
Like, I was living for the hip movements.
Yeah. And then Jinkx doing her gyrating, random spastic movements.
At like
Not
75% of the stage, and Raja only taking up 25.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not.
And what I love is seeing like the other queens' reactions.
We could have had.
Yvie
looked so good with the rainbow.
We could have had Yvie and Jaida. We could have had Shea and Monet. We could have had any black people on this season. There are 4
Okay,
of them.
this is what I mentioned about Yvie earlier. I wanted Yvie to be in the top so bad because that lip sync outfit was so fucking cool.
Yeah,
and stunning. We're not talking a lot about everyone's lip sync looks, mostly because like we don't have the time really to do 2 runways every week.
No.
And not everyone changes into something completely new. But Yvie's outfit was really fucking cool, and I was here for it.
Yvie's looked great for most of the lip sync changes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But to nobody's surprise whatsoever, in a statement I never thought I would have to say, I never thought I would be able to say, Jinkx Monsoon has won a lip sync against Raja to Better in Color by Lizzo.
Had this been a regular season, it would have been a double sachet.
Absolutely. And to nobody's surprise whatsoever, Jinkx blocks the Virginia.
I have a prediction. Virginia and West Virginia are gonna merge together and become one big Virginia.
I hate you.
So
North Dakota and South Dakota will merge together to become one big Dakota.
Hota.
Hota, South Dakota.
Shut the fuck up, please.
That's my new drag name. Please walk on the stage. Hota, South Dakota.
Anyways, as I was going to politely say, I have a feeling that Roger is probably going to give her little legendary legend star to Yvie. Yeah, and I think that Jinkx will give hers to Jaida.
I think Jinkx might give hers to Monet.
I'm pretty sure Raja. I feel like Raja would give it to Yvie.
We all think, Raja's gonna give it to Yvie, so that way everyone's on the board. Cool.
Jinkx, I think, might give it to Monet.
Right, I'm kind of thinking Monet.
I was thinking Jaida too, but Jaida blocked Jinkx, so
yeah. So who knows?
Yeah, but then Jaida gave her that. Oh no, she didn't give her that.
That was Viv.
Yeah, no, never mind. Yeah, she's gonna give it to Monet.
Monet.
I was like, but she gave Jinkx that xylophone. I was like, wait, she didn't give Jinkx that xylophone.
Yeah, Monet, probably Monet.
And actually, that's not a xylophone; it's a glockenspiel. But I mean, that's a conversation for another day.
That is a conversation for another day.
I don't want to have that conversation. So we're gonna wrap up the shortest episode of All Stars that we've done.
We're all really fucking tired.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a rough one, but thanks for joining us. And Roger. Bye, whores.
Bye.
South Dakota.
Dakota.
Dakota. I hate it.